Helping a friend to start a YouTube channel, Part 3, Video Editing on a Budget. Our friend Kimber is starting her own YouTube channel. I volunteered to help with the editing until she can do it herself. These are the tools I use to edit pictures and video. I'll start off by saying I'm a penny pincher from long ago. Sherry would say I'm cheap, but I don't buy anything unless I can see good value from it. So for editing, I use Wondershare Filmora, Microsoft Photos app, GIMP 2, and OpenOffice Draw. Now of these, only Filmora has a fixed price, but it's one that I think's well worth it. So let's start off with Filmora. As I said, there is a cost to this software, but for the quality of the product, it's a bargain by comparison. There are add-on packages that you can buy that have a cost as well, but you can choose not to buy them if you so desire. What's really nice is you can try it for free, and there are tons of videos for training available on YouTube, on Filmora's website, and so it's really easy to learn. Now this has two modes, easy and full feature. And quite frankly, I've never used the easy mode. Never found a reason to. I find that the full feature mode really isn't that hard to use, and it's always got something new to try. It's easy enough to get started too. Just drag and drop audio, video, and picture files into the media library, or use the import button. Multiple files can be brought in at once or one at a time. This is also where you will see the choices for other functions of the software as chosen from the toolbar. You can also just drag and drop items from the media library onto the timeline. If something needs to be trimmed, just select it in the timeline and position the line where you want to cut. Then click on the cutting tool below the toolbar. This will leave the portion on the right still selected. So if you clicked on the trash can, it deletes it from the timeline. Some of the other features of the software is a music library. And this is music that you have license to. Ready-made text, credits, and titles are also available to use and to modify. Or you can make your own and keep them in the custom folder to use over and over again. To try one out, just select it from the media library and click on the play button to see how it looks. Next in the toolbar is the Transitions tool. This allows you to transition between cuts in the video so it tells the story a little bit better, or it makes it less jarring to have a cut from one scene to the next. It can be as simple as a dissolve or as complex as spinning the clips together. To the right of the Transition tool is the Filters tool. This can impart so many different effects to the video that it becomes hard to choose at times. Everything from shaking like an earthquake to changing colors to black and white and other effects. Next is the Overlays tool. This will give your videos a cinematic effect that really is kind of hard to describe, but can be very interesting to watch, and it grabs the attention of the viewer. One that I use all of the time is the bokeh blurs. Now, while it might not look like much on some video, when it's used on a solid color or a gradient, it lends a dramatic effect as a background for text or small pictures or picture-in-picture teasers. It just keeps things moving. The Elements tool gives you predefined animations and graphics that can be modified to fit your video needs. I use this for tutorial and training videos to show where things are on the screen and draw attention to some aspect of the image. There are also splashy graphics that draw attention, and even emojis to express emotions that may not have been obvious in the video. The Split Screen tool is available to have 2, 3, 4, or even 6 videos or graphics on the screen at once, but in a controlled way. That's one of the things I like about Filmora. It gives you options. It gives you 2 or more ways to do just about anything, from easy to complex. And really, you can choose the way that you want to do it. Stay to the end of the video to see an example of how to do special effects using some of these tools. The next tool I use in making videos is the Microsoft Photos app. Now this is a free app from Microsoft that comes in Windows 10. It is a basic photo and video editor. And when I say basic, I mean it's basic. It doesn't have a whole lot of bells and whistles, but it does have a few things that make it special. In fact, you could use it to make full videos. But what I like it for is some of the special effects that it has, such as the explosions. The way I can use some of the features in photos in Filmora is to build them as green screens. Now, a green screen can be any color as long as it's not a color that is in the effect. Green works for most effects. Now, as you can see, Photos has some of the same features as Filmora, but not all. What it does have is 3D effects. This is where the magic is for making attention-grabbing videos. There are all kinds of things that can be added to a video, or even photographs, or even a montage of photos. Anything from fire of many types, to rose petals, or leaves falling, or even bats flying around, or even lightning strikes. These can be added to a video in Photos directly. But I like to be able to use the effect in many videos. So I will capture it on a green screen and bring it into Filmora. After selecting the effect, adjusting the size of the effect to the green screen is needed to get a clean detail of the image and yet not lose part of it. The 3D effects can be rotated and positioned as needed, but they don't move. So they need motion added in the way that green screen is used in Filmora. Here is the explosion that I've been using in this video. Just select it, position it, size it on the green background, make the length of the video match the length of that effect, and then export it at the highest quality. While Microsoft Photos will edit digital photographs, there is another application that takes it to the next level. The one I use is GIMP 2. This is as powerful and complicated to use as is Photoshop. But this doesn't cost a dime to use. They do accept donations, but you're not required to do so. I have to admit that I don't use this as much as I would like, but it has some very powerful tools that I have used. The one thing I use the most is the ability to cut an object out of a photograph and use it without the background. Like Photoshop, there are tools to do anything, but one thing it can do quickly is make a green screen background. Yes, the green background that I used with Photos was created in GIMP 2. I also made a blue and a red background for other effects. And quite frankly, the color adjustments ability in this program is almost infinite. But sometimes I just want to get a quick image to work with, and it doesn't need to be extensive. For this, I use OpenOffice Draw. OpenOffice is another free software that you can donate to the development of. It's like Microsoft Office, and it has a word processor, spreadsheet, and a whole bunch of other things. But it has one thing that I really like. It makes shapes and objects and quick drawings that can be exported as JPEG or PNG files. These can then be brought into Filmora and used like any other photograph. I've used these on some of my videos to illustrate objects that, quite frankly, in a photograph would just have too many other things that would hide what I was trying to show. Things like batteries and wiring and how things are tied together. It can even make green screen backgrounds like GIMP 2, almost as fast, but the color choices are not as infinite. So now I'll show you how I use some of these tools to make a video more exciting. The original video that I used here was a pan across a beach and a pier, but I wanted to test out the Photos app. And so to do that, I added a lightning strike and then some bats flying out of that spot. But I wanted to do more to it. So in Filmora, I put that video in the timeline and then added the explosion. I then removed the green screen green effect and positioned the explosion where and when I wanted it. I have more control in Filmora to match things up and put things where and when I want. And so once I had it where I wanted it, here is the final cut of the video with the adjustments in place. So as a final thought, I use the tool that gets the job done with the least issues and the lowest cost in money and time. That's why I use these software packages. But please let us know what you think or what you use in the comments below.
Thanks for watching our video. If you like what you see, press the like button below and subscribe. And also check out our other videos.